Okay, welcome to the very first episode of Transformers First Day, where with me, Madeline Vaughn, we talk about all things Transformers around here. So, I like Transformers, do you like Transformers? We would get along so well, so come on, let's get together and talk about all things of our precious robots in disguise. Okay, so for the very first episode, I am going to pretty much introduce myself, talk about how I first got into the Transformers, some people who inspired me to create this series, and yeah, all that good and awesome sauce stuff. So yeah, okay, so hi, again, my name is Madeline. Anyways, the first time I got into Transformers was a very, very long time ago, like around when I was a kid, maybe like 7 or 8 or something like that. Yeah, like around that sort of thing. Anyways, okay, so the very first time I actually like kind of discovered Transformers was when my dad took me to my very first comic convention in Toronto here. And there was like this whole giant booth of like toys. And like at the time I didn't really focus on comics and all that stuff too much. I was more into like the toys kind of thing. So I was mostly looking around there. So I was checking out some of the toys and I found this like red and yellow space looking motorcycle. And it just caught my eye and attention, and I just got so into it. It's like, Dad, you gotta get me this motorcycle, Kenny, So he buys me it, and there's this kid who's with his parents. They're the ones selling the toys and stuff. So my dad gives the kid the money, and the kid gives me the toy. It's like, oh wait, hold on, there's something that comes with it. So he goes around in like the boxes in like the middle of the booth, digging around, and he pulls out like this those Ziploc bag things. So like, it's like, here, it comes with this, and inside the Ziploc bag, I see like this weird looking red key thing with like this weird symbol on it. So it's like, okay, what am I supposed to do with that? Like, I had no idea what it was. So the kid puts like the motorcycle and the key thing in the Ziploc, and he hands it to me. And yeah, so I got my first toy at Comic-Con. So for the next couple of days, I'm playing around with this motorcycle, and I think it's the coolest thing ever. Like, I'm making it go down ramps, riding it along my school desk, like along my arm and stuff. Like, I was just having a blast with it. Okay, then one day, like, I noticed in the back wheel there's like this weird line pattern thing on it, and I noticed it's a bit weird. So I opened it up, and like the tires, they just went up in half, and I was like, this is a weird design for a motorcycle. What is this supposed to do? Like, I was just completely lost and I had no idea what to do. And then like I noticed like something else like weird with it. So like I pull on the toy, and like these two things like come apart in half like that. Like, and this was like way before I knew what exactly a Transformer was. So at this point, I was like on the brink of tears because I was worried I accidentally broke the toy, and I was just so worried. So I tell my dad, like, Dad, I think I broke my toy. So like he looks at it, just sticks it back together, like, there, it's all fixed. So I'm like, yay, it's fixed. Yeah, but keep in mind, this was like way before I knew about the Transformers. So like at first I thought that I had accidentally broken my toy, but later on it actually wasn't. Yeah, so fast forward a couple months, maybe like a year later. So I'm with my parents and watching TV. We're getting ready to go out for the day, so I'm sitting there waiting for my mom to finish up in the bathroom so I can get in and get ready. So I turn on my TV and I'm sitting there like watching Fairly Odd Parents, SpongeBob, that kind of thing. But then, like as I leave to get dressed and then I come back, I notice this weird show that's on with these giant CG robots on it. I'm like, what the heck is that? So like I'm sitting there watching this and like, okay, this isn't too bad. It's okay. And like I noticed like these cute little robots, the giant ones that are just so adorable, and they were just the cutest things I had ever seen. Like those weird, like the big round eyes, they were just so cute. Anyways, so little did I know, like the bit I was watching, that was like the very end of the episode, because right after that the credits came on and the theme song started playing, and it was like, Transformers, more than meets the eye. And yeah, I really liked it, and I was watching, it's like, okay, this isn't too bad. But then, remember that red motorcycle guy I was talking about earlier? That thing ends up showing up on screen, and it transforms into a robot, and I'm just sitting here like, that was my motorcycle. And like, so I'm just sitting there in complete shock for like, I don't know, who knows how long. And like right at the point where it sinks in that I realized that motorcycle, that robot was my motorcycle, I shut off the TV without even checking to see what the name of the show was. I bolted into my room, practically tearing my closet apart, trying to look for my motorcycle toy to try to turn it into a robot, because I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And then like after like 5 minutes of looking for it, like I just stopped and realized in complete and utter turmoil that I had given the toy away in a yard sale like weeks or a month before, and I was just completely devastated. I was so upset with myself, like like to this day I still kind of beat up myself up for like not hanging on to that toy, because that was legit my very first ever Transformers toy. And before like I get to know the story, like the red motorcycle guy that I was talking about, his name was Ransack, and he's from the Transformers Cybertron series. But at the time, I did not know that was the name of the show. But I discovered that later on. So fast forward a couple years, I'm in middle school right now, and then I hear about the first live-action Transformers movie, and I was like, Transformers, where have I heard that before? And slowly, like as like the days go on, like the days and weeks go on, and as the movie is getting closer to coming out, the theme song from that show I watched as a kid slowly starts to come back in my head. And I'm like, so I keep repeating it in my head, like dip 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 dip. Like I just couldn't get it out of my head. It was such a good theme song. Like I knew it was Transformers related, but I didn't know what exact Transformers cartoon it was, so I couldn't really find it. So then finally the movie comes out, and I'm like, okay, like I have to know for sure if this is what I'm thinking. Like, so I practically begged my dad and asked him for him to take me to go see this movie. And of course, it's a Michael Bay movie, so it's rated PG-13. And my dad's like, I don't know if I should take you to go see this movie. Man, it's like, and I'm practically begging him to take me to go see. It's like, okay, tell you what, I'll go see the movie first, and if I think it's okay, I'll take you to go see it with me. So I'm sitting here waiting impatiently to hear back from my dad whether it's okay for me to see the movie or not. I'm just like, Dad, what about now? Dad, can I see the movie? Dad! So yeah. So finally, my dad finally gets back to me on the movie, and he's like, okay, relatively it's okay, but there's some stuff that I don't think you should exactly watch, but I'll let you see the movie, but only when a DVD comes out. That way I can skip ahead through the parts I don't want you to see. Fair enough? It's like, okay, yeah, sure, fair enough. Okay, so now I'm sitting here again waiting for like 6 months for this movie to come out. So finally the DVD comes out and my dad buys it. It's like, yes, finally I get to watch it. So he puts it in, and I'm just sitting here watching the movie, and like legit right at the end, right after I'm watching it, I was just sitting there in awe, like, oh my gosh, this is the same thing that I watched when I was a kid. Like I was just completely blown away. I absolutely loved the movie. I loved the characters. I loved the story. Like I loved everything about the Transformers. Like I loved how they can turn into cars and planes and all the explosions. Like I just loved it. That's when I kind of slowly but surely started to create my little obsession over this, I guess. Majority of people call it an obsession, but I don't really care. But that's when I started to really enjoy the Transformers, and that's when, around the time, I decided that Optimus Prime was my favorite character, because he was just amazing. His voice was incredible. Like I was just so mesmerized about it, and like how he acted, like the way he acts and talks, and it was just so incredible for me. Like it was awesome. So yeah. So basically from there on out, I go to see the other movies, and I also start to watch the Transformers cartoons as well. I didn't really hear about Transformers Animated until I noticed it from my younger cousin, because he was playing the DS game based on the show. And at first I didn't really get into it because like the graphics of the game, I didn't really like it as much. But like my love for Transformers went just full speed ahead when I discovered Transformers Prime. Like I'm telling you right now, Transformers Prime is the best Transformers cartoon, other than G1 of course, that's ever been made. I kid you not. It is the best thing you will ever watch if you are a Transformers fan. Like, you've got to see it. So yeah, so the very first Transformers Prime episode I saw was the episode TMI, where Bulka gets zapped from the cylinder thing and he instantly becomes like super smart and stuff, writing the formulas for the synthetic energon. But at the same time, it's eating away his memory, so he's forgetting who he is. He's forgetting about the Autobots. He's forgetting about Miko, and it was just so. It was just an emotional roller coaster. Like, it really was. So I ended up watching the entire show and the movie that ended off because it was just an incredible show. And at that point, I decided that I would be like a full-on Transformers fan. Like, I absolutely loved it. Like, I started buying the toys. I started reading the comic books, mainly More Than Meets the Eye. It is incredible. It's like, God, I'm just speechless. I don't know what to say now. Like, I really don't. I don't know what else to say right now. And of course, about like halfway through Transformers Prime, I also started watching other Transformers cartoon. Like, I got back to watching G1 again. I started watching the Transformers, like the Armada trilogy, like Armada and Neutron and Cybertron. I started watching all of those. I really enjoyed those. And then I finally started watching Transformers Animated, and I thought it was great. Like, the animation kind of threw me off for like the first little while, but then I started growing into it. And yeah, it was a great series. But like, why didn't they make season 4 for Animated? There's just so many unanswered questions. No, gosh. Okay, and yeah, so right after Transformers Prime is done, that's when I went full speed ahead to become a Transformers fan. Like, I love the Transformers. Like, they are so like dear to me. Like, you don't understand. Like, I'm just at a loss for words. Like, I just can't describe how I feel when it comes to the robots in disguise. Oh my gosh. So right now I'm currently watching their Robots in Disguise cartoon on Cartoon Network, and I'm really liking it so far. The only downside is that it's a 6 a.m. time slot on Cartoon Network. And second of all, I don't have Cartoon Network to begin with, which is really sad. So I have to look online in order to watch the episodes. Yeah. And also, that's when I started to buy Transformers apparel. Like, I have a few t-shirts, and I also got this wicked hat here. I love this hat. I love this hat to death. If you take it away from me, I will kill you. Slowly. Oh, gosh. And yeah, that's basically how I got into the Transformers. So, like, it's amazing. Like, first, it started out buying, like, a toy motorcycle, not knowing what it was. And like, just fast forward to where I am now. Like, it's just incredible. Yeah, quickly before I end off this episode, I just want to give off a couple quick shout outs real quick. The first shout out goes to Alex Yu of the Raging Nation. I absolutely love your show. Like you're just an awesome guy, like giving us updates on the movies and all that kind of thing. Like, you're awesome. Keep up the awesome work. You are awesome. Why do I keep saying awesome? Okay, anyways. And his second shout out goes to this new Transformers fan / YouTuber that I found a couple weeks ago. Okay, some of you guys might know her. Her name is Speedy, and she is just an awesome girl. Like, she is a huge Transformers fan just like me and a bunch of us as well. Like, she's just so passionate about it, and she's an incredible drawer too. Like, have you seen her fan art? Okay, you need to see her fan art right now. Like, okay, go to Divine Art and look up her username, The Speed of Light. Go, do it. Her fan art is incredible. So yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Transformers Thursday. Make sure you stick around next Thursday for episode 2, where we talk about Transformers Universe. So I'm gonna be talking a bit about that next week. So anyways, thank you for watching this episode, and yeah, Autobots roll out, Decepticons rise up, and we'll see you next time.